Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I just thought I would give you a little bit of a recap of my first competition back as a mum. So if you're new here, I'm a springboard diver from New Zealand, currently living in the United States. It has been just over a year since I had my baby girl. A little background if you are new here. I competed at the Olympics in 2016, qualified for the 2020 Olympics, got pregnant, didn't compete in the 2021 postponement Olympics, and now I'm back and I just thought I'd give it a go for, I guess, round 3, which is going to be in 2024 in Paris. So, welcome. Yeah, it's been a year since I gave birth. I competed exactly a year from when I gave birth to my daughter, which was very special. It was kind of surreal how it lined up like that. Where do I even start? Let's just say the competition didn't go exactly how I kind of had hoped or envisioned. It was the US Winter Nationals. I honestly decided to do it very last minute. I came back into diving pretty soon after I gave birth. I'd say 7 or 8 weeks after I gave birth, not intensively, I just came back for fun and was in the water and I just missed it. So I just wanted to be around that environment again and I loved it. I didn't really have the idea or the commitment to come back at that point. I was just there for some fun and I didn't know if I wanted to fully commit myself to another Olympic cycle. But I just wanted to come on here and film a bit about my diving journey. I wanted to film a little bit of progression as I ease back into it, if I choose to do that. Right now I'm a little on the fence, honestly, whether I want to continue diving or not. As a new mum, it's got its challenges, many challenges, and being a full-time athlete also has a lot of challenges. So especially having a baby, I had no idea what that would entail. So my husband and I moved back to America in April, and when we moved back I didn't really dive. I kind of just jumped in again just for fun. So the summer went by. My coach actually retired that I was hoping to dive with, which was a big shock, and I was again left with, well, if I don't have a coach, how am I going to compete? So my commitment level was pretty low. And then we got a coach in who used to coach me actually when I first came to America in 2016. He was the graduate assistant coach. So now he moved into the role of head coach at LSU, and I've worked with him before. I loved him as a coach. He was very attentive, very young and enthusiastic, which is just what I need. And I asked him if he could coach me for another cycle and he said yes, which was amazing. And I have been training, I guess I went kind of full-time in September, I think it was. I think September I started to really get back into it, but it's only been, I'd say, around a month since I relearned my list on 3 meter. So my list is like my 5 dives that I compete, which was a big accomplishment in itself. I never thought that I would get back to that spot in that short a time. I mean, going through pregnancy, your whole body changes, you lose a lot of muscle, and then you give birth to a baby, and I had an emergency C-section, which is what I didn't want, just mostly because the recovery time is longer and they have to cut down all those layers into your stomach through those ab muscles to get the baby. So I was very nervous about that. Pleasantly surprised at how well my body recovered and how strong I feel and how I'm able to do my dives once again, which is crazy. I kind of last minute decided to compete at a competition, and very, very last minute really. I only signed up for the competition a few days before I was to compete, and I went in there and gave it my all. In 1 meter I came third in the prelim, which was surprising. I felt very good. I was less nervous than I thought I was going to be, and it felt like my old self. The final, I wasn't really on, and I came 7th, I believe. 3-meter was a whole nother thing. Athena got really sick this trip, and it's the most sick I've seen her. It was very hard with her in the night. She was up every, what felt like 10 minutes. She just couldn't sleep, poor girl. Her nose was all blocked, and as a baby you don't know how to blow your nose. She had fever, she's teething, she's cutting all these teeth, so she was really not in a good headspace. I mean, headspace, physical space, mental space. That means that I wasn't in a good mental space either, because I'm just constantly thinking about her. Luckily, Ryan's parents came with us to West Virginia, and they took her for the night before my 1-meter and before my 3-meter competition. But the morning of my 3-meter competition, we had her, and she just wasn't doing well. Like, she was crying a lot, and I was so emotional because it was her birthday, and she was just so unhappy, and I could tell she was in so much pain, and I started to cry, and I almost just pulled out of the competition right there, because I was like, how can I dive and be in that competitive mindset when my baby is crying and all of that. So we actually ended up taking her to urgent care. Well, Ryan did, the morning of. He dropped me to the pool and took her to urgent care. So my headspace just wasn't in it, and it's a big learning curve, I guess, because I realized that if I'm moving forward in the competition, I'm going to have to really lean on Ryan and any support that's there to take care of Athena and get my head right in the competition and deal with that afterwards. I think at the competition I learned that I was just stressing out way too much over things that I couldn't control, and it really didn't prepare me for the competition at hand. So the warm-up didn't feel good, and the competition didn't feel good either. I wasn't nervous. It was almost as if I just didn't care at all. I just wanted to get through it and then get out and go see my girl. So that's just the honest truth. That's just how I was for that day. It was a little bit discouraging because before I got pregnant, I was reaching a really good space in my diving. I started to really understand how to compete, and I was scoring personal best scores and placing high rankings. So I kind of just thought that I would be there straight away, which I know rationally doesn't make any sense, and that's not how things work. I need more volume under my belt, I need more competition experience, and I need a good warm-up and a good mindset leading into competition, all of which I haven't had yet. So that in mind, I am happy with how I did. Just to get out there to compete my full list and be competitive amongst a good pool of athletes was a really good accomplishment in itself. It did, spark a fire. I'm ready to get out there and really compete now and train more and harder. I think once I get more volume under my belt and hopefully find some more competitions to compete at, I will just naturally get better. I've had years and years of experience in diving, so I know that you need to practice consistently to see the results. So that's pretty much it. My next competition is right now in July, which is World Championships in Japan, which will be the first Olympic qualifier. Top 12 secures your country a spot for the Olympics. I'm hoping to find competitions before that. I don't really want to just go from this competition straight to that competition. So I'm hoping to find some domestic competitions that I can go to, and hopefully FINA, or now World Aquatics, will update their schedule soon, because I'm sure I'm not the only one waiting for that to come out. But anyway, if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. It's been a crazy journey, and just training for the Olympics again as a mum has been very challenging so far. I don't train every day the same, if that makes sense. My schedule is very flexible because I'm not always available to go to the pool. I kind of work around Ryan's work schedule, Athena's schedule, and my coach's schedule. So Ryan comes home a lot of the time for lunch and I go to training. So I'll warm up at home and then I'll go. It's very different to how it was before the baby, but I feel so much gratitude for the sport and for my body allowing me to do this, and I really do have a whole new appreciation for it and a whole new love for my body and for the sport. So it's just all fun at this point. I really am just excited to be able to dive again and have so much support. So I'll be posting more updates on my training and competitions in future. So if you are interested, please follow along. And yeah.